Was it like a crazy place? Would you describe it as a crazy ass place to grow up? Because I mean, a lot of times you hear about Compton's not necessarily as wild as it used to be in the 90s or whatever.
Yeah. Nah, it was still wild. For sure, growing up, there was like at least 3 drive-bys, like cars in front of my house shooting at the house next to me.
Wow.
Yeah, like, nah, it's still wild.
Okay.
It's still wild as fuck.
And so did you feel like you were growing up sort of, like, did you want to be a part of that, or do you want to like stay away from it? Like, what was your mentality as a young person observing that?
You know, what was like crazy about it was like having like an Asian mom. She tried to like shelter me a lot. Like she tried to like really, you know, keep me away from that. But I was drawn to the lifestyle. So, you know, my little badass, I was sneaking out like, you know.
Like, really?
Like this is kind of what I am. Like I can't run from it.
Do you remember a time period though where you sort of like went from being just like a regular kid to like quote unquote jumping off the porch? Is how a lot of people tend to phrase it in terms of when you first start like going out and just being your own person and wanting to be around all this shit.
You know, I ain't really officially jump off the porch until like I became homeless.
Really?
And that was when I was like, first time was like early 17, like not early, late 17, and then second time was 18.
So what had to happen to lead up to that?
Like broken family shit. It was just too much going on in the household that was just toxic, and I was like, I can't deal with this shit no more. Like, I'd rather be on my own and keep dealing with this type of shit, so I'm gonna just distance myself.
Right.
Go.
There was just too much bullshit going on at home. Was it your mom's dating life that was sort of bringing problems around, or?
Nah, not her dating life. I mean, you know, it's like when people have demons that they ain't never dealt with and they kind of take them out on you. Like, I felt like that shit from everybody around me. Like, everybody had their problems, so I was really like that black sheep out of both sides of my family. So I was just like, man, I ain't fucking with y'all. I gotta go. I gotta go.
When you think about like an Asian mother, are we thinking of like all the stereotypes that she just wanted you to 100% go to college and
Yes.
Were you just not interested?
Nah, I mean, I did, like, once upon a time I did, but, you know, as soon as a nigga became homeless, you know, that shit whole changed. I'm like, I gotta get a job, I gotta start working, I gotta start getting to it, like, yeah. Plus, I wasn't, like, no school person. I hated school.
Right.
I hated school. Only thing I liked was art.
You never had any interest in the school part of things? I feel the same way. I'm like,
No.
it didn't really click for me during my high school years. I'm very into like learning and reading as I get older, but as a 17, 18-year-old, it just didn't really work.
Yeah, nah. School it wasn't it for me. Like, I'm like, the only thing, I took the things that I was supposed to take, but other than that, all the shit I knew I wasn't gonna use, I'm just like, what the fuck I need to know about this for? I don't really care.
Definitely. So what was homeless like, or was there a confrontation with your mom specifically that led to that happening?
Yeah, it was just a build up of shit, and it was a time and point where it's just like I ended up going to like 2 proms, and they weren't mine, they were like other people's, but like she paid for that shit, but I ended up like giving her my paychecks. Like I ended up like I had like my first job was at Ross. She was like taking my paychecks to like kind of pay her back for that shit. Okay. And I'm just like this shit don't feel right. Like, and it was way more than like what it was supposed to be. Like 3 checks down the line, I'm like, man, this not right. Like you at this point taking from a nigga, like I can't.
All right, let me have my little shit. Ross hustle.
You know,
and
like,
why you gotta try to fuck that up
do
for
my
me?
shit. And then at that time, especially, I started Ross, and then shortly after, I got hired at California Pizza Kitchen too, so I was working both of them.
And I was telling my girl as I was getting ready for this interview, I'm like, wow, she worked at Ross and then worked at California Pizza Kitchen, which is crazy because for me, my ideal girl shops at Ross and then eats lunch at California Pizza Kitchen. That's just kind of my type, you know? Yeah.
You see, we on a budget and we also got some good taste, you know?
Right. I interviewed that Asian dude, Timothy De La Ghetto, is a comedian on Wild 'N Out and shit, and he said that he got fired from CPK because I think he made fun of the uniform on Twitter, and so they fired him. Why'd you get fired?
I'm fucking dead. I didn't get fired. I left.
You left.
I left. I started dancing. And it was hard. Like, I was going from Ross, like, early morning shifts to 6 a.m. shifts to California Pizza Kitchen. Then after that, I go straight home, and then I start working my way to go dance. I'm like, I'm not sleeping.
Right.
I can't keep doing this. Like, I gotta, like, something got to give. So
you were doing all three at the same time, but you
Yeah.
moved out with the Ross thing going on. You were like,
Yeah.
fuck this, I'm gonna start my own.
But I ended up like I was staying with my best friend. She was all the way in. She lived like right by Crenshaw Mall. Fucking Ross was in Long Beach. I had to take like 2 buses and a train. Nah, 3 buses and a train.
Right.
That shit was fucking wicked.
Wow.
That shit was wicked.
But who put the battery in your back and told you like maybe this dancing thing will pay you a lot more?
You know, I was like raised in a household where like they kind of instilled that shit in me. Like they always told me like you gonna be walking up Long Beach Boulevard, like is that what you want? Like what you want, the clear shoes and blah blah. Like they always made like insinuations like you gonna be a hoe, you gonna be a stripper. So it's kind of in the back of my head, not supposed to be, but I'm like, shit, let me see what it's about.
So your family were like trying to scare you about that path, but then at the same time sort of made it seem like a real path.
Yeah, it wasn't even that they scared me. They was just like kind of just fucked up. They just kind of wanted to like, you know, it's one of them families that like really like brought you down mentally. Like you ain't gonna be shit. You ain't never gonna be shit. This is what you gonna be. Like I can see you gonna have a baby. They thought I was gonna have a baby like 13.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
And I was a fucking virgin till like 17.
Oh, really? Because I feel like a lot of some families like raise a kid like telling them that they could be whatever they want to be, and they sort of put them into a positive mind state. And it's kind of crazy to hear from somebody who sort of makes it out like their parents sort of instilled like self-doubt in them.
Yes, I grew up in that shit, so yeah, it was hard getting to where I'm at now, like, and just being actually confident and actually believing myself, because I was raised by people who only tore me down.
Right. Damn. Okay, so then at a certain point, how did the stripper thing like pop in your head to really like want to try to do that though?
I started doing my research. Google is a man's best friend right now, you know what I'm saying? So I literally Googled it. I'm like, how much do dancers make? You know, I see random ass numbers. I'm like, man, fuck it, I'm gonna go find out. So I started DMing different clubs. Like Instagram was around at the time, and that's when people building their businesses on there. So I'm just like, okay, let me DM some of these people. Like, I'm gonna like, you know, say like see what's up, you know. And the nigga who ran AOD at the time, he's the one who like responded and was like fucking with me. He was like, hit this nigga. Like, you know, the page told me to like hit this nigga. I'm like, all right, well, hit him. And from that point on, that nigga like kind of took me in and like put me on. So.
From your experience though, like I'm always so curious, like from going to strip clubs in LA though, did it feel like a predatory type of thing where you feel like when you look back and now that you were sort of being taken advantage of, or do you feel like they actually had your best interest in mind?
Nah, he had my back. Like I told that nigga my story. Like I told him what had happened. And I don't know why I felt so comfortable with him, but you know, he's just a real nigga. I could just sense that shit off of people sometimes. And he just like, you know, I know other things that he do, and for him to do that with me and just like, you know, he got me my fake ID. He didn't want the money back, you know. He was just like, you could work here, and then when another club opened up, he was just like, boom, you could work here, and he didn't want nothing from me. So he really wanted the best for me. Like it
fake
wasn't
ID because you had to be 21.
Yeah, okay. I was 18.
I was like, man, I hope you weren't 17.
Nah,
Yeah.
I was a fresh 18.
Okay.
And I had to be cautious with that shit.
Right.
Because back then, that young Vice was trying to come get me.
Really? They were looking for you specifically?
They wasn't looking for me, but
okay.
I had for sure had some haters to where they always had Vice popping up at the club. And I knew it was because, like, you know, I was one of the only ones at that time that was, like, young. So I'm just like, shit, they trying to get me.
Wow.
Get me.
So, like, do you feel like you just grew up a shitload? Because, like, realistically, the strip club is where, you know, that's half the time you go to a strip club, it's like, this is all drug dealers / dudes who run other illegal businesses. The strip club is where all the most G'd up / scumbag fucking dudes congregate.
Literally. That's why I could say I matured that much quicker. I was already older for, like, my age. I already grew up very quickly. But being 18 and now I'm fucking with people who 24 to 30, and, like, it's just, it was a whole different ball game.
Right, you just start finding out about so much shit that you wouldn't know about
and
otherwise.
I literally just took in the knowledge. I was quiet, you know, I just did my shit like I was a dancer. I literally came in, got my money, and dipped. I'm like, ain't no reason for me to stay here. Don't talk to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. I was real, like, in and out.
That's kind of like the best way, but I feel like it's almost kind of inevitable, especially in LA, that if you start stripping, that it's going to start creeping its way into your social life and shit, that it's going to be hard to keep it separate from just your regular life, right?
What's crazy is I was able to hide it for all 4 years.
Really?
I was able to hide it. I kept it away from my social media shit. I didn't really promote it like that because, you know, it's just too much things going on. And, like, mentally, I was just like, damn, I proved my family right. Like, last thing I'm finna do is, like, you know, give it to them. Like, I can't do that. So it wasn't that hard because I'm like a real low-key person. So it's not like it was just like, oh, she here, and she danced. Like, I danced, and you never seen me after that.
But you didn't have like rappers falling in love with you at the strip club and stuff. I feel like that inevitably ends up happening.
I did.
Yeah?
I did. Damn near everybody I had a crush on when I was younger tried to get at me. And at that time, I was in like a 4-year on and off relationship.
Oh.
So I was like, you know, I got a nigga to go home to, but that shit was fucky.
What, the relationship itself?
Yeah, that's why it was like on and off for 4 years. It was on and
Was it
off.
partially because he knew that you were in this environment and he didn't really like it? Or?
Yeah, he was for sure insecure nigga. He for sure couldn't handle that shit. But he also, like, you know, he ain't had shit going on for himself neither. Like, I was taking care of that nigga basically. Like, I was low key getting pimped.
Really?
Nah.
Oh, wow. I'm like, okay.
Nah.
I felt like you should have told me that along the way in this story at some point. I'm like, holy fuck.
Nah, not at all. I was just taking care of a little bum nigga. All he did was sit home and play games. It's not like it was like some pimp shit where like he was really like, this is my money, I'm gonna take it. Like, nah, this is my money. You touch my money, you better put that shit back.
Right.
Figure out how you can.
But you were just like convinced that this relationship was it and then you were stuck with it?
Nah, I was just, at that time, I literally, like, being homeless, me and him became homeless at the same time.
Right.
And we both didn't have, like, nothing. So I'm just like, damn, like, this is all I got. Because I really cut off my family for, like a year and a half, 2 years. So I was really just by myself, and it was just really me and him. And that's really who I thought at that time, like, all I had, and that I needed him to, like, keep going. Because, like, I felt like if it wasn't because he became homeless, like, I might have just, like, fell under. Because I don't think I had the motivation to do it for myself at that time.
Right. Yeah. Damn, that's serious. So, like, being homeless, though, were you able to, like, find your way into situations where you had somewhere to stay and stuff pretty quickly?
Yeah,
You didn't have too many park bench nights, no?
Honestly, no. Like,
Okay, good.
my best friend was, like, she was there for me. Her family, like, low-key took me in. Like, it was like a random night here, random night there, but she was the one that was just like, you know, like, I got you. But I just wasn't comfortable with that because I'm like, this ain't home. This ain't, you know, this ain't where I belong. This your situation, you know? But his situation was just that much worse. He was in a point where he had to sleep in my best friend's car. So I was just like, damn. Like, I literally gave myself a week, and I was like, I got a week to get a place. And I got a place within that week.
Wow. Okay.
It was a little shack, but, you know.
It worked?
It worked. It was a little shack.
Holy shit.
It worked. What's up, y'all? If y'all like this clip, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and wait for the next one.